The Lanterns of Lullaville. Once upon a time, in a quiet village called Lullaville, everyone believed in the magic of dreams. Every night, the townspeople lit floating lanterns and whispered wishes into them. The lanterns would drift into the sky, twinkling like stars, carrying dreams up to the moon. Among the villagers was a kind and curious girl named Emmy. She had the sweetest laugh and the biggest heart. Emmy loved helping others, especially the older folks in her village. But there was one thing Emmy wished for more than anything: a friend who would understand her love for stories, stars, and silly giggles. In the same village lived a shy boy named Leo. Leo didn't speak much, but he had a beautiful voice and loved to sing when he was alone. He often spent his evenings sketching pictures of lanterns and wondering what dreams floated inside them. Leo's one wish was simple: to share a song with someone who truly listened. Every year, on the night of dreams, the entire village gathered to send their lanterns into the sky. The stars would blink brighter, and the moon would look bigger, like it was listening. That year, Emmy and Leo both stood at the edge of the river with their lanterns in hand. Emmy closed her eyes and whispered, "I wish for a friend who hears my heart." Leo whispered into his lantern, "I wish to share a song with someone special." As they released their lanterns, a soft breeze spun them in circles, and instead of floating away, the two lanterns bumped into each other midair and landed in the water. "Oh no!" Emmy gasped, stepping into the shallow river to rescue the tangled lanterns. Leo hurried forward too, slipping off his shoes and splashing in. "Wait, I think they got stuck together." They both reached for the floating lights and paused, Emmy holding one, Leo the other. They laughed. "I'm Emmy," she said with a bright smile. "I'm Leo," he replied softly. They waded out of the river together, lanterns in hand, and sat on a nearby rock. "Your lantern was beautiful," Leo said. "So was yours," Emmy replied. "Do you like the night of dreams?" "I love it," Leo said, "but I usually just watch from afar." "Well," Emmy beamed, "I'm glad we bumped into each other. Literally." From that night on, Emmy and Leo became close friends. They met each evening at the riverbank to share stories and songs. Emmy would tell tales of dream-chasing rabbits and giggling clouds, and Leo would sing sweet melodies that made the stars feel closer. One evening, as they watched fireflies flicker and the river glow under the moonlight, Emmy asked, "Leo, what did you wish for on the night of dreams?" Leo looked at her and smiled. "I wished to share a song with someone special." Emmy blinked. "I wished for a friend who hears my heart," they both giggled. "I guess our dreams came true," Leo whispered. Emmy nodded. "Maybe the lanterns knew before we did." Seasons changed. The village grew colder, and lanterns turned from bright orange to golden yellow. But every week, without fail, Emmy and Leo met by the river, talking, laughing, and watching the stars. One day, Emmy fell ill and had to stay indoors. She stared out her window sadly, missing the soft songs and quiet talks. Leo, worried about his friend, came up with an idea. That evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills, he lit a tiny lantern, tied a note to its base, and let it drift toward Emmy's house. Emmy saw the glow from her window and rushed to catch it. She untied the note and read, "Meet me by the river when the moon is high. I have a surprise for you. Leo." Wrapped in a warm scarf, Emmy tiptoed down to the riverbank under the shimmering sky. There, waiting beside a glowing tree, was Leo, with dozens of tiny lanterns floating around him like stars. He began to sing. It was the gentlest, sweetest melody about dreams, laughter, and friendship that glowed even in the darkest night. As he finished, he held out a lantern and said, "This one is for you, Emmy. It carries my favorite wish." Emmy took the lantern and smiled, her eyes twinkling. "And I think I already know what it is." They released it together, hand in hand, and watched it float into the night sky, joining all the other dreams of Lullaville. From that day on, the villagers noticed something special. Whenever Emmy and Leo were near, the lanterns glowed brighter, the songs sounded sweeter, and the stars seemed to wink more often. And on the next night of dreams, the sky danced with light. And somewhere, between the laughter and lullabies, a song whispered, "Sometimes the best dreams are the ones you share." The end.